Stephen, we were supposed to have been live there for about 5 minutes, and OBS is coming the cunt.
It certainly is, John. Welcome on in, folks, to Movie News here at MBE. I'm one of your co-hosts, Stephen. John McLaughlin, our co-host, and the brightly coloured shirt is John C. Walsh. Thank you for joining us once again here on our YouTube channel and, of course, our Twitch stream. We have one topic of conversation to talk about tonight, John.
Yes.
Not a lot of news happening. Well, there is always news happening, but nothing really worth topical talking about. Yes. But this...
Henry Cavill, come on.
Yeah.
On.
John, how many times we covered that? It's not happened. So I'm kind of thinking, let's not talk about it, and it will happen. It will happen. I believe it will happen, but when? Don't know. Maybe when he's grey. John, I
feel like it's too late.
It's over, 12 years now since Man of Steel? I don't know, 11 years? I can't remember when. 2013 was it came out? Something like that. Maybe it was. Maybe it's not as long as that. Maybe 9 years. It feels longer because we've wanted it for so long. But we're not talking about Henry Cavill tonight. Once it happens and it's official, we'll talk about it then. But before then, we're talking about RRR for a change. We're talking about Junior NTR to join director SS Rajamouli and co-star Charan for its Japan premiere. Now, John, this
one question I want to ask Stephen briefly before we went to the article. What is it with huge Indian figures and the inability to procure a high resolution image of them? I have used the same image of
Rajamouli's a hard one.
For 3 or 4 different shows now. It is impossible to get a high resolution image of that guy.
Well, John,
and
we've got a simple solution to that.
Be able to get it.
We have got a simple solution to that. We can either, there's 2 solutions. We can either register with Getty Images.
Yeah,
we can do that. Or we'll just wait till we're really big and famous and we'll have an interview with the man and get a personal photo. Okay, SS. It's a deal, isn't it, mate? But anyway, this is coming from koimoy.com, which I don't think I've been on before. But
I've not, because I had to zoom in there.
I'll be honest with you, John. The structure of the article, you might have to excuse me because I'm going to read. It's very short and sweet, but they broke up the sentences. 1 sentence, an image. 1 sentence, an image. 1 sentence.
So it's almost like Kevin Thompson, some obscure football figure over here, the way he speaks. Oh, it was a great finish.
I'll try my
world-class player.
Gravelly voice. What is that all about? But anyway, Telugu star Junior NTR is flying to Japan along with his family for SS Rajamouli's directorial blockbuster hit RRR premiere. I'll talk about the date of this premiere in a moment, John, which is the 21st of October. Telugu star Junior NTR is flying to Japan along with his family for the premiere of director SS Rajamouli's blockbuster hit RRR, which is taking place on October 21st. The film, which has been garnering immense love and appreciation from fans across the globe, will be showcased in Japan, where Junior NTR has a considerable fan base. This is why I'm going to be asking this question in a little moment. From the time announced was made, there has been a huge buzz and fans are eagerly waiting to meet Junior NTR and watch the film together. Both domestically and internationally, the Magnus Opus did incredibly well, starring Junior NTR and Charan in the lead roles. RRR, since its release, has earned over Rs 1,150 crore at the box office. In fact, the entire team of RRR is currently preparing for the theatrical release of the film in Japan, according to sources. Junior NTR is extremely proud and happy to have achieved this milestone. He's overwhelmed with all the love and appreciation coming his way. His fan base in Japan has always been enormous and devoted, so this is undoubtedly the ideal chance for them to meet him, and Junior NTR is eagerly looking forward to it.
Don't blame him.
Earlier this
Wonderful
month,
country.
The actor has interacted with the Japanese media about RRR. In fact, he had, after an interaction, tweeted, reliving the experience of RRR with the Japanese media. Thanks for all the love and admiration. On the professional front, the actor is currently preparing for 2 significant releases that were announced on his birthday. NTR 30 by Koratala Saiva and NTR 31 by Prashant Neil, the director of the hugely successful movie KGF, John.
That's interesting.
It's something that we can get our teeth into as well, John. But first and foremost, why is it taking so long for Japan to get this film?
First and foremost, why am I getting hammered with constant adverts about Celtic Football Club?
What's that all about?
I mean, I do quite
everyone knows that we are Atherley fans.
Yes, I know.
Junior football.
I quite like that silver one, though, to be fair. But anyway, that's neither here nor there. We've got the intro. That was great.
Yeah.
We'll ignore that. I'll deal with the intro when we come to the end of the show.
I'll move over a bit, John.
I mean, Stephen, once again, I'm zoomed in, and I'm close at the camera. The seat is the exact same height as Stephen's seat. But the way, I mean, you're going to have to, really, excuse me, it's very difficult to, I mean, look, we can show you the charade we've got going on here.
We are in the same room,
We're
folks.
in the same room. We're sitting next to each other. This was designed primarily for watch-alongs and reactions in mind. Because, of course, yeah, that's a great... I need to try and get that fucking sign behind me. Because that sign's fantastic. And sadly, it's lost when we do this.
Yeah. And that.
The rationale behind why we do that is we're too far out, we're too wide.
Yeah.
And the quality's not great. It's a one-camera setup. We have got two fantastic cameras. The lead died, the dummy battery in one. So we went to a one-camera setup. I don't know why I'm going off and doing this tangent. Needless to say, quality shit. When you do this, we're zoomed up.
Yeah.
We're a little bit closer.
Yep.
It looks better, but you do get phantom hands. And they
Yeah.
look smaller.
Plus, it looks a bit weird sitting next to each other and not actually looking at each other when we talk, John.
It does, yeah.
So this gives it an illusion.
Yeah, we need to address that somehow. We have to go to like a fucking GMTV.
Sofa.
Good Morning Britain.
Yeah.
Sort of set up where we're sitting in a sofa or true recliners. How's that going to fucking work though? I don't know. But it would be great to get something like that where we could actually sit. And it's almost like a Jimmy Fallon experience without the exciting guests.
Yeah.
It's just us. It's like Jimmy with his sidekick. I don't know
And
who
nobody
Jimmy
else is
Fallon's
on.
sidekick
Yeah.
is. I know Jimmy Kimmel's sidekick's a little Mexican guy. Jimmy Fallon's got a sidekick, but I always forget him.
Yeah.
It's some old geezer.
Bald head.
Is that what his name is? Yeah. Oh, no, I'm thinking about the other one. I may be thinking about... Oh, I don't know now. Yeah, I do know Fallon's sidekick. Do I? Is that not Conan?
It's Conan, yeah. He's
Yeah.
the one with the bald head, isn't
Yeah.
he? Not
I don't
Conan,
know.
he's got a very good head of hair.
Conan's got a fantastic
Yeah.
idea. He's chucked it. He's doing podcasting now.
Yeah.
But what I digress.
Yeah,
Went off on
anyway.
a tangent. Stephen, I have completely lost the fucking plot. What were you saying? Were you asking me
We're
a
talking
question?
about the release date, yeah.
The release date, yeah, it's strange.
Yeah. It's
To delay
almost
it.
like us with Parasite here in the UK. We were the last to know.
We were the last people on the planet, us in the Republic of Ireland, to get the fantastic Bong Joon-ho. Bong Joon-ho. I always get the names mixed up. It's like David John Washington, John David Washington, Joseph Gordon-Levitt. We were the last people on the planet to get Parasite. Good things came to those who waited, though. It was one of the greatest movies I've seen in the last 20... in my fucking lifetime. Let's be honest. The last 20, 30 years.
Yes.
I've only been alive 33 years, John. Do you remember anything prior to that? Have you got a story to tell us? Are we going back and using some sort of mystical fucking meditative therapy to discover a life before this life? I digress. Good things came to those who wait. Stephen, if Japan hasn't seen this movie yet and they've not cottoned on to VPNs and pirating and stuff like that, then they're in for a fucking treat.
Yeah.
Whether they
definitely
even if
are,
they have seen
yeah.
it, it's about getting to experience it the way it should be experienced on a big screen, the way we missed it.
There must be a reason, John, because if Junior NTR's got a massive following over there, you'd think it would be one of the first. Maybe they're saving the best to last. I don't know if that's their sort of viewpoint. I don't know.
Stephen, we do know he has got a huge following. We know that there is multiple Indian, big Titanic Indian
Yeah.
sort of film figures who have followings all over the world. You think of Joseph Fiji. He's got followings in Singapore, France, bizarrely. Don't know why specifically France, but maybe the French are just that little bit more adventurous when it comes to art and film than us sort of perfidious fucking albino weirdos on this island that no one wants anything to fucking do with. That's why they almost... I feel like alternate history, they created the channel. They filled it in deliberately to keep us away from the civilised continent.
Like a leper.
Like a leper. We're the lepers.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's huge following, Stephen, in Asia for a wider variety of big Indian figures. It shouldn't be a surprise that SS has a huge support over in Japan. The guy's a masterful director, as I
just
spoke about again and again. But the release date's fucking weird.
It's so far apart from its initial release, worldwide release, if you like, till now. You know, you're talking...
there could be a rationale,
couple of
Stephen.
days now it
Perhaps
comes
there
out.
is some cultural clashes.
Could be.
We see this with China as well. A lot of movies get banned and then they have to water it down. Maybe
Yeah.
they've made some deliberate changes,
Could be,
stylistic changes to
Yeah.
fit in with sort of Japanese film taste.
Yeah.
Maybe that's why. Maybe it's the dubbing's very... I mean, it's totally different language, isn't it? In terms of phonetic, alphabetic, everything. Japanese.
Perhaps some of the politics involved as well might be needing altered. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know. There must be a good reason.
There must be a rationale behind why they have delayed the release by several months in a country which has a huge support.
But as you said, John, if no one in Japan, which I doubt very much, has not seen this in some format or another illegally, they are in for a treat. I'm kind of almost jealous of them, in fact, that they've got this to still watch and experience in that sort of first time way.
Just
something that we obviously got.
Flavoured salt and vinegar flavoured corn.
Your favourite?
Roasted corn.
Yeah.
Because even to this day, I'm convinced it gave me norovirus. Even though it didn't. I get norovirus and it fucked my plans to go and see this movie in the theatres.
Yeah.
And it's an eternal regret, Stephen.
That is, yeah.
Right up there with some of the other huge movies I missed in the theatres.
Problem was, John, RRR, KGF Chapter 2 and Beast all came out the same week.
Fucking week.
Or something like that.
It was,
and that was the week both of us were out the game.
How?
What's the chance?
It for a second time?
Yeah, what was it? Yeah, I had 2 bouts. It was weird. I had it like 1 week and then I had a week.
We were doing a watch along to Family Man.
Yeah, I had to stop.
And Stephen had to go and spew violently. And then I had to cut it in a way where it was as if he'd never left the room.
Yeah.
And you can see the difference
I was
in his skin.
grey. I was absolutely grey.
You looked like the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, I was.
Looked like Uncle Fester from the Addams
Family. It was. I mean, I've got dark, but
I looked
it was
like
even
Uncle
worse
Fester
then.
from the Addams Family.
But yeah, it was. It's just as you said, John. It was one of the regrets, and hoping for some kind of maybe
re-release.
James Cameron Avatar-esque re-release, please. It would be magnificent to see this film. I'm not really too fussed about seeing KGF Chapter 2, which I've thoroughly enjoyed, or Beast, which I've still not seen. Don't know why, but I'm sure we'll get into it.
I think we just get put off with the reviews, Stephen, and
the
not
feedback,
just the reviews from critics, because we don't usually care about critical response.
No.
Not that it's not important. Obviously, if there's an overwhelming opinion coming out from critics, even they have to be listened to. But it was the reviews from people in the community. Yeah. And the views of Telepathy fans themselves saying it wasn't a great movie.
Not that we're self-reliant on the community for views or anything like that. We don't really chase those numbers in that sort of fashion. But when you've got a community, and if you've got a community, John, and they're telling you this film's bad, I wouldn't recommend it. They're not going to come in and I can't imagine they'll want to do a watch along with you and on that film if they don't enjoy it themselves. Why would you want to put yourself through that twice?
And it's a commitment, Stephen, watching these movies. It's 2-3 hour movies, sometimes more, which is brilliant if it's a really great movie. If it's an average tedious affair that lacks cohesion in terms of story, that's not really going anywhere, that's just a sort of conduit for Joseph DJ to do his thing, which is always good because we like to see him do his thing. I
think most of our watch-alongs we have enjoyed to a degree, but I think certainly I think Anta Dunn is one of those ones. We said it, I think, in the second reaction, we didn't want to stop. You're just that engrossed in the film and want to see where it goes because of the amount of twists. It's a thriller, so you're going to be that pulled in anyway.
I don't know how I get that video out.
It was fantastic, John. The music's going to do that, isn't it?
But it was a 50-minute it was a 49-minute reaction, Stephen. I get it down to 26 minutes.
Incredible, absolutely incredible.
How the fuck I don't know how I get it out, but we just couldn't stop watching it, Stephen.
And also Sarda Rudum as well. It was another one we didn't want to stop watching, but I think after obviously the slaying scene, we had to take a week away from it just because it was so. Just took our breath away.
Well, Stephen, getting back to this, man, getting back to RRR, just great to see this movie's longevity. Great to see its worldwide appeal. That it's ticking off multiple sort of regions. People are being wooed by Rajamouli, by the acting talents of NTR Jr., Charan. Stephen, we've spoke the hind legs off this movie over the last 3, 4, 5 months, however long it's been. I think it's been about 3, 4. I would say about 5 months.
That's why I'm surprised at this release date, John, because it came out, I think, May or something like that, wasn't it? Was it May?
It was round about then, because it was round about a certain football game when I had norovirus, and that was the end of the season. So it was about May time, But Steve, one of the most standout moments or things about the actual movie was the brotherly chemistry, the relationship between Beam and Ramaraju. Ram Charan, NTR Jr. These two actors were outstanding in this movie. Two totally different figures, the yin yang, fire, water. That was the whole heartbeat of the story. Two sort of guys from unlikely different backgrounds with this same sort of desire for freedom to overthrow the tyrannical British, but coming out from different viewpoints, becoming fucking adversaries, if I can say the word, easy for me to say, not, and then coming back and being brotherly. It's only fitting that they get to revel in it. They get to go over to Japan and experience sort of the adoration. And Stephen, look, I think it was NTR says it in the actual article, just delighted to be in Japan. No wonder. It's a fucking unbelievable country. I'd love to go to Japan. Brilliant people, incredible culture, rich cuisine, everything about it, man. The aesthetics of that place, just one of the great countries on the planet. So I'd love to be there, just for no apparent reason. But if I'm going over to promote a fucking $70 million movie that's already had great success worldwide.
John, have you heard anything about this, about Junior NTR's upcoming films? It was announced on his birthday. I don't know when. The
Prashant Neel one.
Well, that's the one that stands out, John. Obviously, his connections with the KGF franchise. That's interesting. That'll rub people up the wrong way, I'd imagine. I think it will, John. The sort of NTR hardcore fandom and the KGF 2 hardcore fandom. John, I sensed that when we were doing both watch-alongs at the time, there was a kind of divide with obviously both films, and I'm not sure about Koratala Siva. I'm not sure how you say that, but that's obviously the one that's coming before. But I'll tell you something, and talking about SS Rajamouli as well, it's going to be one of those ones we're just going to be keeping our eyes on what he's going to be up to next. Now, we've said it ourselves, he's an event director, so it might be a while before we see the next movie for him. Maybe, I'm not sure, but certainly that one, NTR 31, is the one I'm going to be keeping my eyes on anyway.
NTR in general, Stephen, the community told us about this guy from a dancing perspective.
Yeah, that's right,
We reacted to one of his song and dance numbers, it was great. It was in a sort of bar. We've seen that side of him. We've now seen him for the first time properly acting. He was absolutely incredible in Triple R. He was almost the sort of lifeblood of the movie. That's not doing down Ramaraju, but Beam. I'm pretty sure he played Beam.
Ram Charan,
played Ramaraju. I think NTR played Beam. Just the sort of raw emotion from this guy. Genuinely cared for this little girl, cared for every single head in that village, fighting tooth and nails to get her. That sort of continuing lust for revenge for the mother, the way she was treated, getting this little kid back to where she belongs. He was the sort of lifeblood in that movie. So getting to see him acting that out, it was a real pleasure, and I'm looking forward to seeing this guy's career. Maybe reverse engineering, going back and watching some, maybe watch alongs, and then future releases. And NTR 31 probably better than NTR 30 for me in terms of that name. It sticks out. We don't know a huge amount about Koratala Siva, because we don't know every single fucking name in Indian film.
Well, I'm going to look that up.
Prashant Neel, Stephen, KGF, which is the first movie we watched, Indian movie we watched, and it was a baptism of fire. Spoke about it time and again. Loads of cuts, frenetic pacing, the violence, the dance numbers, Rocky in there, the character that is of course Yash, rocking star Yash playing him. It was a real experience, and I don't think any other director could make that coherent, and not even maybe SS Rajamouli could make that story coherent. It's so fractious, it's all over the place, epic sort of gangster tale with this morally ambiguous figure in the middle of it all in Rocky. Prashant Neel done a fantastic job in that first movie. The second one for me, not quite as good as the first, but it still had standout epic moments. I'm blanking on the actor's name, which is absolutely fucking shocking. I always blank on his name.
The villain?
Yeah.
I have to like John, I do this all the time. Do you know something? I was actually I was doing some shorts.
I forgot to press live,
and I actually had to hashtag him, and so Sanji do it. And I had to obviously hashtag him, so I should have known that. It was only a day ago.
The epic moments involved him, and obviously Rocky facing off. That moment when he's got the sort of pure white suit on,
wasn't it? Yeah,
that's when the film kicked him, and he came across the bridge in flames. So it wasn't quite as good for me, the second movie, but still fucking good movie. Watchable.
John, I had that kind of feel that The Dark Knight Rises had, where The Dark Knight was such a epic film and sort of went sort of peak Batman, that anything that came after it was going to be very hard to follow. Same with KGF Chapter 2 for me. It took almost 30 to 40 minutes for me to start getting into the film, because a lot of it was the sort of repercussions from Chapter 1, and also Rocky was at that sort of pinnacle moment where nothing really was interesting, because he'd reached that sort of point, you know, that he was obviously striving towards in the first movie, and it was a bit of an arse around that table, and I was like,
he always was, to be fair. It's just that we were on board with him because the people he was trying to take down were even bigger. But
then obviously Sanjay Dutt, as you said, came in, and it just all kicked off from there, and it was a great film.
It was, and look, why we're speaking about that for anyone perhaps coming in at this point, Prashant Neel.
Yeah.
Getting to see what he could do with an NTR Jr.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's worked against him. I don't know enough about NTR Jr. in terms of his
Koratala Siva, John Siva, has only done 5 films. He's got 2 upcoming films in the near future, but nothing that we've seen, so can't comment on the director. Maybe someone in the community can let us know kind of director he is. You know, it's something, obviously, when it comes to Junior NTR, we're very interested to see what he's going to be doing next, particularly with actors. Yeah, and Ram Charan as well, John, I can't forget him. Just equally as important in that movie, charismatic and obviously screen presence on equal measure. But yeah, I mean, this is what we're going to be doing. This is why we love going down these rabbit holes. We like to find out new cinematographers as well as actors, directors, you know, and it just opens up more sort of opportunities for us to be educated on Indian cinema from all the regions. So
this is Telugu.
Yeah,
this is Telugu. I think NTR is a Telugu actor.
Well, that's
SS Rajamouli, I think, from the Telugu regions, but more a pan-Indian director, and obviously we know Prashant Neel with KGF is Telugu. So again, we spoke about this at length, Stephen, in the past on this channel. The sort of, I'll try to think what the word would be, not tour de force, that's the wrong, I mean, I keep doing this, coming out with French fucking phrases that are not French. Sort of force of nature that is Telugu cinema. They do what they want to do, they make films the way they want to make them for people from Telugu speaking regions, and they don't give a fuck whether they're outside parts of India or even the outer world.
And they
give a shit. They do movies for themselves, and you've seen it, we've spoke about it, man. Big North Indian directors, actors looking down enviously and saying, I wish we could do it like that. I wish we could have that carefree nature that they've got. We perhaps used to do it like that, but we don't anymore.
Yeah.
So it's this region seems to be driving all these wacky ideas, these great movies, and brilliant leading performances. So seeing him with NTR, it'll be very, very interesting.
Yeah.
See where it goes.
Yeah, well,
Triple R, man.
Triple R. Yeah.
Back to that, just great to see it succeeding all over the world. Huge success in the US. Huge success in the Western sphere in general. A lot of appreciation and love for SS Rajamouli. He's been signed up to a talent agency in Hollywood, hinting that he could be getting offered a huge Western budget and movie at some point, and then going over to Japan, get a pre-established fan base over there.
Do you think SS Rajamouli could do an MCU film?
I think absolutely.
Yeah. I'm not saying that do you think he's capable. I mean, do you think that's something that's...
Well, I mean, Stephen, there is an Indian, I believe there was an Indian superhero, if I'm not wrong in saying. Someone came into the comments and said, not that he has to be...
No, it doesn't have to be
shoehorned into doing an Indian superhero because he's an Indian director.
But if they're going down that road for someone to handle that character, then it makes more sense for
Stephen, we were speaking
an
the other
Indian
night
director, doesn't it?
About Michael B. Jordan and Creed, and how Michael B. Jordan didn't want Sly Stallone doing the second Creed movie. He fought for Stephen Cable Jr. to come in.
Yeah.
Because only really a black guy in the directing seat could understand another black guy in the actual story of a black guy. And he's lived it.
Yeah.
So he's the guy to tell the story and to helm it.
Yep.
It'd be the same with SS Rajamouli or someone of that standing. If they introduce this sort of Indian superhero into the MCU, and fuck knows why wouldn't they? We've had Kamala Khan, is that what her name is? I think it is. As Miss Marvel.
Yeah.
She's the first Muslim character to appear in the MCU. We've had your man, banking on his name. I'm banking on a lot of names tonight. Fucking terrible, man. The Eternals. Kumail Nanjiani.
Yeah, Kumail, yeah.
He's Pakistani, I believe.
Yeah.
So we've already had these, and I think he played an Indian in it, which is probably controversial. We've had these sort of firsts in the MCU. Why not have an actual full-blown Indian superhero and bring in someone like a Rajamouli with a $150 million budget?
Yeah, yeah.
He would hit the ball out the park, Stephen, if he could inject his stylistic way of making a movie into the MCU. And look, we've seen that. We've seen that with James Gunn. We've seen it with Taika Waititi.
Yeah, I mean, they bring
sort
elements
of different
in.
directors bringing their styles in.
Well, they've got to. John Kenneth Branagh was marvellous for the first Thor film. I think they had to have that sort of Shakespearean sort of vibe to it. You know, the old school acting as well, the classically trained acting in that first film, which became stuffy obviously by the second one. But for the first movie, it was correct to bring a director that had that experience. Yeah. Sort of
King Arthur and Excalibur.
Same with Joe Johnston for the first Captain America. I thought it was very much the same vibes as I saw in The Rocketeer. Just that sort of action adventure, Saturday matinee feel to it. Flash Gordon, the same sort of thing that inspired George Lucas, and that's what I got from the first Avengers, Captain America. That is great. So why not?
And it can be done.
Yeah,
they can bring their style in. I think if Feige's open to that. As long as you're playing within the sort of greater sandbox, you've got a degree of freedom, but you've also got predefined rails you have to stay on, or it destroys everything they're trying to create.
Well, that's it, yeah.
Why not be able to? Why not bring it in? We read the character. We read up in the character when someone posted it in the chat. I've already forgotten it because that's the type of person I am. I forget what I fucking had for my dinner yesterday.
We get so many comments, John.
We get, we get a lot of comments to be fair, but we could get back. I'm just too lazy. But it was an interesting character. The get up, the actual abilities the character had. I'd love to see Rajamouli in the MCU, man. I'd love to see the guy just making a huge fucking western hit.
Yeah.
And bringing these incredible Indian talents into it, so more people from this side of the world can be educated one at a time about the perils that are on the subcontinent, because there's still ignorance over here.
John, even from the most sort of well-known critics out there and film buffs out there, have not got the patience to sit through credits, which I was very shocked and surprised about. Yeah, the credits are going on too long. I'm ready for switching this off. Yeah. You call yourself a film fan? Call yourself a critic? I guess some people are busy. You didn't watch the Hitchcock movies then, I take it? You didn't watch all those artsy French fucking movies from like 60 years ago that were like 5-10 minutes of fucking credits before the movie started? Oh, no. Skip it. Just fucking skip the credits and get into the movie, man. And then they're huge fans of the MCU, but they can't handle a guy going through a crowd to rescue someone and kicking the shit. He gets shit kicked out of him as well. It's not like it wasn't like fucking Zeus going through this crowd. Bodies everywhere. Steve Rogers again taking out lots of Nazis in the first Captain America film. Yeah. No one questioned that. That's what I'm talking about, staying at ignorance. There's still this sort of, yes, we can do it, but if anyone else does it, that's cheap, that's crap. We need to educate people. It's not realistic. It's not realistic, of course it's not realistic. It's a fucking fantasy movie, mate. There's a big green monster. Fuck's sake, it's a fantasy movie, man. Is the Lord of the Rings realistic? Do you know many hobbits and dwarfs? Well, to be fair, we probably get quite a few dwarfs over here, come to think of it, and a lot of big-footed people as well. There's this strange movement, Stephen, just now, that's a thing. I don't know if you're aware of this. Barefooted people kicking about, and how they're wearing their I don't know if in Scotland, but wearing their feet. Their feet feels better apparently after like 7 months of walking about with no shoes on. You've got flexibility in your toes. Fuck off. Try it up here. You'd die within like 2 days. Imagine all the dog shit as well. I know. I know. Imagine all the fucking spitting and slugs. The luminous slugs we've got up here. But look, I digress, man. I'm going off on tangents here. I was talking about slugs and fucking weird people with foot fetishes walking about barefoot. Let's get back on track and end this show, because I'm done. Yeah, I'm done as well, John. Going to go to this dual screen. We are going to get the intro again because it's determined. What is your thoughts on RRR? What is your thoughts on SS Rajamouli, Ram Charan, and last but not least, NTR Junior joining those aforementioned men in the great country of Japan to promote the RRR premiere, which is happening in 2 days, the 21st of October. That's scary even fucking reading that and saying that. Yeah. We're into the middle of October. Where has this year went? Wow. Just seen the other day, there's 1 year since a certain football game happened in Europe at a strange time.
a 6 o'clock kickoff on a Tuesday. That was a year ago. Fuck me. Where has this year went? What's your thoughts, Nate? You can share your thoughts down below if you have anything to say about Triple R, about the premiere in Japan, about the wide-reaching success of this movie, about these three guys getting to lap up the applause, the acclaim, the plaudits in Japan. Anything you feel compelled to share can go down below in the comment section. That's the place to put it. You can also like the video if you've enjoyed it, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell icon to get notifications straight to your eyeballs. And the same over on Twitch. Follow button, notifications button over there to see us live over there as well. Regardless of what you do though, thank you for watching us. All that leaves us to say is bye bye.